What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, and tonight I'm joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
Mr. Just One.
Yo, what's happening?
And Mr. Robert Detoff.
Oh, Robert.
Wow.
And tonight we are going to continue with the collection critique. You know the routine. Check your feelings at the door. And if you want the uncut audio version of this episode, please feel free to subscribe to Patreon, where you can get all of that, where we talk about, is it too much of a big ask or not? You'll get it if you subscribe. All right, so we'll start with the first entry for tonight, and that is from Jack.
Oh my, it's like armies.
Randy Curtains.
So, all right, so Jack is trying to do backgrounds with his DTOFs, and I don't think they're successful. However, I do think that some of them have potential. I'm looking at this one specifically with the alt mode of Cyclonus and Scourge with the kind of movie grid behind them, and I think this is handmade. My guess is that he's waiting to put robot modes in those spaces.
Oh, probably.
You know, and I think that actually, with the robot modes in them, could look good. Or maybe even a Masterpiece Galvatron by himself, like the Fans Toys Galvatron, boom, right there in the middle, could look good.
But I wonder, if you're standing in front of the shelf, how far back do you have to stand to see those things hanging that high in that shelf?
Yeah.
Probably pretty far back.
Yeah, it's probably not the right choice for that. Like, the shelf above, he has this like Decepticon version of Trax or whatever in. You could probably swap those and be fine. I hate to do this because I think he's really tried, but it's like there's one shelf that works, and that's the Autobot shelf with Prime, Jazz, Ironhide, Sideswipe, Wheeljack, and Bumblebee. And that works in a DTOF, but they all are on their own layers. There's vertical space taken advantage of. There's diorama work. There's everything. Like, whatever you did here is what I would recommend trying to match for the rest.
If that Prime shelf was actually inside the Ark, set like that, would you say they are on layers in their layer?
Maybe.
I'm going to say something about the Decepticon side, at least, and I'm not trying to shit on this dude, but I think part of the problem is that they're just not executed that well. I mean, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I think with this one that has this tracks in it, whatever this shattered glass tracks in it specifically, like, it just doesn't look like it's made very well, which also takes away from it. And I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, I'm just giving you my opinion.
No, I think you're right. There's so much wrong with all of this. I want to make this clear. I recognize that effort went into this. So that's where the difference lies with me, is that I do understand that you took time to make this into something, but you're making very simple errors that could be fixed. So you have the lights to the Decepticons in the back of the DTOF. Move them to the front of the DTOF to light the back of the DTOF. Like, you have a fully lit shelf here, and I can barely make Megatron out. That's due to where you put those lights. Right? So it's really simple things like that.
On the bottom.
The layout stuff is different because, like, whatever you, like, I keep going back to this one with Optimus Prime in it is great, but you go down and we have Jetfire and that's fine because you don't have a whole lot in there.
It's a bad shelf, dude.
But it's not a good shelf. And then the one with Ultra Magnus, what is he standing on?
Is that on foam? Is that like just...
That's what I'm saying. Is the shelf curved, or is it just the way it's painted?
Is that the space-time continuum?
I don't know. And then you look down below that, I think that diorama is actually probably pretty good from what I can see. Like, it looks flocked. The log looks good. Do you know what I mean? Like that one to me is actually like a good looking diorama, but I can't really get an idea of what's going on there. I see that as Beast Wars stuff, but I can't get a good idea. But then, like, you look at the whole space and it's like it's messy, man. And that's the big takeaway here, is you've got a messy space. It's all messy. And the shelves where you just have figures,
it's too much.
It's too much. It's messy. The T-Rex head on the wall, I'm not mad at, but the rest of it, like, it's messy, man. You have a messy space.
I think the organization of the space is a little bit messy, like with all the screens and then all the cords.
You said organ.
But
you don't think
messy is not like the word I would... It's just, it feels cluttered.
Would you say that most messy, cluttered things are messy?
No, not necessarily.
So
what? So I'm going to tell you, I think it's both. I think the shelf with all the toys on it is
slid into that going.
Well, but I do. I think the shelf is with all the toys is cluttered. Then the desks with all this work area is messy. Underneath it is messy.
Yeah, and it's like it's the whole ensemble is just like, and I get that you're working with limited space. Like I see you have your little art station here where you're painting and stuff. If you're airbrushing there, I hope that you have a vent set up, dude. Please do not get yourself sick over display spaces, but like it's just
Jeez, am I right?
I feel like you're trying to put 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, and
Look, the whole everything about it, it's messy. Exactly.
It's messy.
And what sucks is it doesn't look like it's messy because he plays with the stuff, or it's messy because he doesn't know what to do.
Agreed.
It looks purposeful.
I
And
agree.
that's what's really
It's
really,
it's sad. It's sad
like nails
because
on a chalkboard.
because like what's sad is like there's so much effort put into these dioramas. There's a lack of conceptualization of layout, and I see this all the time. Like the fact that he has an arc space in his Detolf, it's so rare that I've ever seen an arc space in a Detolf that wasn't set up for failure. And this is set up for failure. And I got news for you. The diorama looks good. You put Jetfire and one other figure that's big like Prime in that space, it looks great. But you got Jetfire, you got Red Alert, you got this other little guy in there, and then you got some gun on wheels. It's too much.
That's from the trailer, isn't it?
Who cares?
Didn't he somehow detach that from a Prime trailer?
Who cares? And then you got the space below. You got Ultra Magnus. You got Hot Rod holding the Matrix. You got little Danny in there, and he's standing on a tic-tac-toe board.
Trampoline?
Like it's like, I know you tried, and I think these are all worthwhile as exercises, but you're not there yet. Whatever you did with that Prime shelf, that's it. That's where you want to be.
My favorite shelf.
Except for that side swipe. What's he looking at?
Yeah, but it's still good.
My favorite shelf out of all of them, conceptually, not execution yet, is the shelf with the grid with Cyclonus and Scourge.
Yeah, that's what I led on. Yeah, you put Fans
like,
Toys
that looks
Galvatron
the
right
best.
there in the center. It's golden.
Ooh, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
You know what? Take an MP Megatron. Take the Fans Toys Galvatron, cut them each in half, glue them together, stick them there.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is from at Robots78.
Ooh, we know your age.
Yeah, that's true. White background, so it looks very clean. All the figures pop against it. I think it's a decent layout. It doesn't look too crowded to me. The books maybe at the bottom are...
Mix it up. Yeah,
I think this is effective. This is a display of a Transformers collection of, is it Chug? Yeah, it's a Chug.
Like it.
Yeah, it's a Chug collection. It's very conclusive.
that Trypticon.
Oh, and then
look a story.
Then look at the wide space. He's got like his little computer set up. That's all nice and clean. He's got some extra figures over there. 2 framed posters. He's got a little like drawing board layout or photography thing set up over here on the left. Like I think this is good.
What takes away from it is the vertical brackets. If you're gonna commit to hanging shelves, buy proper hanging shelves that don't have the brackets, because it does dilute the quality overall, if you ask me.
So
I don't want to see that.
You have turned me against the brackets, but the fact that these are white brackets on white walls, I find it more forgiving.
It's not as offensive.
It's not as offensive. It's not as
Get some
offensive.
white putty and
I do
film.
agree with
And it gives you
Robert. It would look better.
and it gives you an awful lot of flexibility, right?
Yep.
If you need to adjust them
Yep.
and all that kind of stuff.
Some of that ceiling fan is wild
Yeah,
looking.
I was just
Yeah,
thinking,
it is
man. You going with birch?
I think this
So
is good.
I
I
think
were
it looks
you, I
pretty
would
good.
get a
I feel
ceiling
like it's
fan.
still like a little bit crowded. Like
I don't know.
I don't need the 300 Sharkticons and all their little.
Yeah, but you don't like a whole bunch of stormtroopers either. Like Sharkticons are an army.
I think it works too. I think it works too. Right. It is a lot of stuff on each shelf, but they've got risers. They're spaced out. The
Yeah.
sizes are different. There's some pose. Like I think it's it though. I don't think you should add anything else.
Yeah,
I think
like-
some shelves work better than others, but overall, I don't think it's bad.
I think some of the little ones is just like when I look at the shelves that the little ones are on with.
You can't say stuff like that.
Like where you have like more of the.
They're not little at all.
No.
They're not little at all. Those are like 5-6 inch figures. He put them with bigger bots to emphasize
They're
size.
good size.
And I
They're
think
good size.
And I think it works. Like
That's a job done.
5, 6.
you look at the Fort Max, right? And he's got all of the headmasters and season 4 bots around him at the bottom. Like that's the Robert D approach, and it works. But it's all it's grouped by like items. Like he's got season 3 bots with Metroplex and Computron and all. Like there's a lot of care here. They all have their own space to breathe. They're all grouped this is a very thoughtful, I might say this is the best Chug display I've ever seen.
You know what I'm going to say? I really love the Unicron shelf. I love how the Scourges are arranged
I do too.
like moths. They're arranged like moths. Like I never realized they are like moths, and they're arranged like moths around Unicron. And I love that. And I love that they're a different color than the OG Scourge.
My only criticism of this entire display are the books at the bottom of the Transformers collection. I think that
I don't think they're books. I think they're CDs.
Yeah, CDs are
they're
garbage.
CDs. Okay,
CDs?
so
Only
actually,
retards.
I'll be honest with you.
Nope.
The fact that they're CDs makes it better for me.
I liked how many times Robert said moths.
moths.
Like I think it's great, and I want to say also that like the GI Joe shelves,
They do look good.
sharp.
Those look like the IKEA shelves that we got for over your computer.
Yeah, no,
Actually,
it's cool.
It's actually like a really tricky. I feel like it's actually a fairly tricky space.
Yeah.
But I feel like he did do
Yeah.
great things with
He's
that.
got the little carpet into the chair. Honestly, I'll tell you the worst thing is it's just the color of the ceiling fan. It's not even the ceiling fan itself.
Your ceiling fan
The
is
color of
really
it is off.
stupid.
It doesn't vibe with the room.
You're
Your
stuck on that
ceiling
fan.
looks like 3 fettuccine stuck together, and you're trying to twirl them apart.
No, because
And they're
I
stuck
understand.
to
Like I
the
do
But it
feel
looks like
I,
it moves air.
I do feel like your ceiling fan has to either be a statement or it has to just blend in with the space. And this one is not
I
sure
think-
which one it wants to do, but it's not necessarily doing.
I don't know. I think it's a statement.
I do
And then
wonder
hit
if
on.
any of the ones on the top shelf fall over when you turn the fan.
I was literally going to say that he never runs this fan because
Because
that whole top shelf.
because it looks like it moves air. That fan. Let's move on to the next one. I think this is great. Robot 78, fantastic job. Best Chug collection I think I've seen.
I'll be moving along, phase.
So the next one, I hate to have to say this name, but it is what it is. And he has a color grouping collection and a character grouping collection, which I think is sharp. But this is Cockwave.
Oh,
Get out of here.
get out of here.
And I've seen this collection before. I've actually commented on this collection on Nerd Rage.
Cool.
I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great. Like it's a celebration of the movie characters.
I think this Sharktacon, lots of Sharktacons, looks nice.
See, I like the other one better. But the other ones, like the Springer shelf, I think looks fantastic. All those different Springers, they're all posed. The palette, of course, works because they're all the same. The RC shelf mixed with the blur around the edges, like the blur forms like a blue ring around the RC. I think that works great.
It's a sense of motion too with that.
I
Isn't it
agree.
interesting?
I agree.
Yeah.
Look at that Hot Rod shelf, and you can see between his different. He's got Hot Rod growing into Rodimus, like holding the Matrix in the center. Like it's so aesthetically pleasing.
So the Hot Rod is honestly the only shelf that I'm like, oof, I feel like maybe you just need like one or two less Hot Rods on there.
On the
I
right
think you're
side,
right, Laura.
Yeah.
I think you're right on the right side, but I think from the middle over to the left is perfect.
Well, there's a Hot Rod Cyclonus in there. Get that out of there. That's stupid.
Yeah, I've commented on this on Nerd Rage, so I'll let it go.
But the Sharktacon Quintesson shelf, I don't like.
Yeah, that's
it
the weakness.
doesn't work. You cannot have order with Sharktacons. There should
I
be.
like
You
it.
can.
Control.
There's too many little
No.
ones.
I like it.
You have to have some type of controlled chaos.
Yeah, that
it
one's-
has to look chaotic.
I think this
It
is a
has
little
to somehow-
controlled chaos.
No, that's just chaos.
No. This is very, very, very spaced out. It's too orderly. It's difficult because they should be chaotic, yet they need to look good. So
Actually,
that's the challenge.
maybe we're both wrong because you think it's too ordered. I think it's too chaotic.
Yeah, I think maybe it just shouldn't be on the bottom because they're so little. Maybe you got to.
I'm going to hit you with the third opinion.
What do you got?
I think the lights reflecting off of the clear stands isn't doing it any favors.
Yeah, it's like in
Yeah, it's very
it's like
chorus
in
line.
Like,
Vegas.
beat it, yeah.
I really need this job.
Yeah, I don't know. I might.
I love chorus line.
Me too.
You know, I might spread out the RCs and move the blurs to their own shelf. Like this is a movie shelf. He's got a movie shelf, and like I think maybe get rid of the Sharktacon's El Total. Maybe just try to do something with Ultra Magnus or one of the other like core movie characters because like there's so much of this that just looks amazing. The Springer shelf is breathtaking, and it's
I gotta
balanced.
tell you,
Like
I mean-
look at the swords and how balanced the swords are in the posing. Like it's so much thought went into that.
He's missing
I like
that
that
big
he's
RC though.
Yeah, I don't have any like other than getting rid of that Sharkticon shelf, which I don't think works. And then he's got that shelf at the top shelf with like Unicron and Galvatrons and all that. Like, look, man, you know how to do this. Stop trying to force fit this thing into the top shelf. Give Galvatron his own space if you want to do something with Galvatron. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the last one. This is just 3 photos, so it shouldn't take too terribly long. This is Michael R. This looks like a Maja case to me, if not something custom to look like a Maja case. It's not enough.
Oh, no. The case is too big for these figures.
Case is too big for how you have them in there.
I love it.
I love it.
I love you, Robert.
Is that a lamp or a speaker? Am I right? Like your dust, though. I'll tell you that much. Dusty lamp, speaker.
That's speaker. Yeah, you just got to raise up. You just need to raise up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't
raise up.
And I think those like Lego busts should just be like on a floating shelf somewhere. I don't think they have enough of a presence to be sitting on top of those cases. Like, I
agree.
You either need just like a big old poster over that, or you need to get some other bigger
combiners
figures. Yeah,
yeah. It's a nice case. It might be something custom, but it's a nice case. You just gotta. You're not taking full advantage of it, right? Half of your display case is literally just case.
It's like, I've got these 6-inch figures. I need something 12 inches high.
But I mean, you probably really could do a lot with risers but you're going to need like some of those risers that are like really big.
I wouldn't do risers. I wouldn't do plastic risers. Like I would get foam and cut foam and then wrap it in black felt and then.
Oh, we know a guy who painted to-go boxes. Remember that one? Like a few episodes back. The guy painted.
Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily do that either. But I would.
You said go boxes.
But I would get foam, cut foam down, and then wrap it in black felt that matched your background and your floor, and then built up a space that could display all these figures in a more meaningful way. These look like you just put them in here, and I know I know you didn't, but it looks like you did.
You could really run with like the whole black like display, like you're saying, with black felt, and even make it doesn't have to be perfectly flat. It could be just ruffled. You know those settings are like you see like a gallery where they just have it's like a black, almost like a tablecloth or something, and it's kind of like you could run
like with jewelry.
That.
They put jewelry on.
Yeah.
These look terrible. Y'all are nuts.
No, they don't look good. They don't look good, but they're fixable.
How long do you think he aged the whiskey that he used these floorboards to make?
Now is your turn to put some effort into this. You got the case. You got the figures. It's a high quality case. They're high quality figures.
You got the touch.
Now you got to get now you got to get the touch to make the thing. Now you got to do some work now. It's your turn. It's your turn. You made all the purchases. Now you got to do the work.
Moths.
Mushrooms.
Vulture. Big RC.
Yes. Big jiggly RC. Make it a gift.